As an auto detailer, do you give your price over the phone or do you always go in person to give the quote? From what I read, I see a lot of detailers going in person, choosing the latter to see the car's condition before they give the price. It makes sense. You don't want to give a quote to a customer only to sell yourself short and work for very little pay. Personally, I'm not a fan of giving a quote in person just because it takes a lot of time, and then ultimately the process may even not fit within their budget what your prices are. So then you just wasted a lot of time actually driving to the customer or to the prospect and explaining your services and explaining what you can do, only for them to say, no, you're out of my budget. In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tips to follow so you can give quotes over the phone without getting burned. And before we get to those tips, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm posting a lot more videos to help you start and grow your detailing business, which I know you're gonna find beneficial. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1, in order for you to give your detailing prices over the phone, you've got to know what to expect and look for in a car. I know it sounds obvious, but it's the foundation you'll need in order to give a quote over the phone. If you're brand new to detailing or you're just starting your detailing business, then you need to pump out as many cars as you can in the shortest amount of time. This is gonna help you experience different types of services on different types of cars with different types of conditions. If you're just starting out, I would contact all your friends and family members and ask them if they can let you detail their car. You can even charge a bit of money if you feel comfortable doing so. But the primary reason you want to do this is you want to establish your baseline with different cars, different conditions, and different services on each of those cars. So you will have to keep track of the size of the car, the condition it's in, and the type of service you're being performed. Again, so you can establish your baseline and you know how long or what to expect and how long it's taking you to complete each car. And yes, it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of hard work, but hey, you went into business, so what do you expect? Tip number 2 comes down to getting the correct information from the prospect. You've got to ask better questions in order to get better answers. Simple. A vague or general question to ask the prospect is something like, is your car's interior dirty? Well, what do you expect they're gonna say with that question? Honestly, the answer doesn't matter because it's gonna be subjective. What they find dirty may be clean to us, and what they find clean may be dirty to us, which that one doesn't typically happen. It's typically they say, well, you know, it's only been for 6 months, I don't really drive it, it's only me when I get in the car, so it's not that bad. But honestly, as detailers, we know that answer and it's never what they say. A better question to ask is something like, is this a work truck? Do people get in and out of your car all the time? It's okay to ask several questions in order to find out what type of car it is. And if the prospect is getting frustrated or annoyed because they just want to hear the price over the phone, then just explain to them very politely, I just want to make sure that I'm getting all the correct information since I can't see the car, so I can give you an accurate quote. And if they keep on, getting annoyed or frustrated and they just want to know the price, then it's probably not going to be the best customer that you can choose. So you potentially would want to kind of skip out on that one if they're getting frustrated just because they want to find out more information about their car. Tip number 3 is to always give them a price range and not a specific number. This is going to give you a lot of cushion when it actually comes time to detailing their car if they say yes. As an example, let's say you're gonna polish the exterior of a paint on a 2008 Altima. What you're not gonna say is something like, it's gonna be $200 and it's gonna take 6 hours to complete. You're just shooting yourself in the foot right there. Instead, you should say something like, well, since I haven't seen the condition of the car, it's hard to give you an exact price. But a price range that your car might fall into is anywhere between $160 and $280, and it should take anywhere between 4 to 7 hours. Does that fit within your budget? Now you're verifying that your price range does fit in their budget, so instead of driving to the location, talking to them, showing a demo, and then at the end of it, then just saying, oh, that's too much, you're already getting pre-approved that your price range is within their budget and you're good to go. So this is gonna give you a lot of cushion to adjust your pricing up and down once you actually get to the job site. Because you can ask them as many questions, but again, they're not a detailer, they don't understand what they're saying. So this goes back to the experience part where eventually once you work on different types of cars and conditions, you'll get a better sense of what to expect. But since you don't know the condition, you want to give yourself that cushion to say, okay, this is actually a little bit more work. Let me up my pricing, let me up the hours. Or if it's not that much work, then perhaps you can even drop it or just make a better hourly rate on the overall detail. Of course, things can always go wrong, and the prospect can always be surprised or act surprised when you complete the detail or when you're going to start the detail and you say, oh, I thought my price would have been on the lower end of that price range. Why is it on the higher end of the price range? And at that point, you've just got to justify and explain your services, the process that you do, and why their car and its condition falls on the upper end of that price range. Personally, I haven't had it happen to me, but I have seen it happen to other detailers. And it's just a part of business. As you gain more experience, you kind of feel who's a better candidate as a customer on who's telling you the truth and being honest about your prices and if they can actually afford it, and who's just pulling your chain and trying to get a top quality detail for a lower price range. It's it sucks. It happens. It's a part of business. As you get better and get more experience, you'll get a better feel of who it is that's actually a good customer or is going to be a good customer, and those that just want to kind of pull your chain throughout the process. Well, those are the 3 tips I had for you in order for you to give your detailing prices over the phone. Let me know in the comments below what you do. Do you actually drive to the customer's location or do you give your prices over the phone? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your process on this. So go ahead and leave those comments below. I replied to almost all of them. So go ahead and leave that comment. I'll read it. Like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and visit detailgroup.co if you want to find more information or more content on starting and growing your detailing business. See you on the next one.